Just the essentials so that you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. I won't talk about fighting specific enemies unless they're very difficult, but I will show you where to go and what to do. Today we're playing Demon's Crest, which is an exploration adventure game on the SNES, similar to Mega Man in its progression system. This is an excellent hidden gem for the system. We'll be getting the absolute best ending, which involves getting all the items and beating the third form of the final boss. So let's talk a bit about controls. You can move left and right with left and right and jump with the B button down the bottom of your controller. You can also jump and fly. So if you press B to jump and then you press B at the top of your jump or wherever you want, you'll just start flying. And you don't need to press any buttons at this point, you just move around. If you want to drop from the flying, you just press B again and drop down to the ground. You can fire projectiles with the Y button, just like that, and this is used to kill enemies in the game. Just be aware you can't fire and hit things on the ground, so these pots I can have a hard time killing. But if I get underneath and on their level, we can actually hit those pots and get their collectibles. We will get a demon that can get stuff off the ground, but that's a bit later. The other thing you can do is you can headbutt. So if you press the A button, which is on the right of your controller, you headbutt that statue there and you can get the goodies from inside. That's used to open a few secret areas in the game. So let's talk about progression in this game. The game's broken up into several levels and you get items in each level. There's a lot of backtracking and exploration to find all these items. If you pause the game, you'll see we have this firepower here, but not much else. We did pick up an extra health slot from the dragon at the start of the game, but that's pretty much it. Now, once you get all the items, it's going to look something like this. You'll notice that last crest power is missing, and that's because you get that in kind of the final boss area. So I'll go through what each of these items do. The firepower is a different type of shooter that you can get. They'll have various effects. Crest power you can transform into different demons. So one of those demons you go along the ground and hit things. There's a swimming one, there's a flying one. It's lots of fun. You have your spells which you can purchase from the town. You've then got your potions, and potions will have various effects. You pick those up as you go. And you got your talisman, which you can pick one at a time. So I'm going to show you in this walkthrough kind of the optimal route to get these in the best way possible. So while we're on items, I just want to make a quick note about the talismans down the bottom there. You can only have one on at a time, so it's important to choose wisely. I won't stop the walkthrough during it to tell you what they do, but I will tell you what they do now so you can be informed. The first one, the crown, makes you drop more gold. So if you're looking to buy stuff, put that on. The skull is similar, but it makes enemies drop more health, so use that if you're having trouble. The armor is the third one, and that's really good. It decreases the damage you take. You might want to put that on for basically the whole game. The fang is the fourth one in, and that increases your attack. And then the hand there on the end increases your firepower, so it lets you shoot quicker. So choose wisely and make sure you've always got one equipped to make the best use of it. So with that out of the way, let's make a start. The first area you'll find is this Colosseum where the dragon's going to chase you down. This dragon isn't too bad. What you got to do is get under his head and lure it down so that you can hit it with the fireball. Once you get used to that, it's a pretty easy fight. Then it tries to kill you again out here, but you just do the same thing. You fly up and hit it, and it'll drop this health upgrade. Very nice stuff. So we're going to fly to the right here, fairly standard platforming level, no collectibles here. Headbutt this statue and you get a boss. There we go, more health. And then we fly through this section. We'll be coming back here later, but there's a little collectible down here. So if you drop down, you're going to get that first potion. Be sure to grab that on your way through. Now there is another collectible up here, but we can't get it until later. It's behind that wall there. And we're going to get into a boss fight here. Just dodge the attacks and try and hit it as best you can. That's this level done, and then we'll be taken out to a map screen. The boss also dropped G Gargoyle. That'll be our first transformation. It's the ground gargoyle, and we'll see what it does shortly. You want to fly to the left here, just into this town. This town has shops where you can buy things, but we're mainly interested in getting past those to the actual level behind the town. I'm turning into ground gargoyle, and you can do this little dash attack, and that's a lot faster than your normal movement. But this ground gargoyle cannot fly, so be careful about that. Alright, heading through this area. And we're going to dash into that to get into this section. Turning back into the normal demon to fly through this bit, ground gargoyle to dash there, and normal demon again. You'll see there's a lot of swapping in this game. Flying up through here and in the door, we got this boss here. So this is sort of an optional boss but required for 100%. You basically just want to hit all the eyes. And there we go. So we got the Buster, which means we can break through stone. As we saw before, there's an area we need to come back to where we break through stone. That's just in the first level here. So we'll go through the first level as per normal, just skipping past all this. Luckily we don't have to fight the mini boss again. And we go through this section, where we're going to get to this climbing bit here. Basically we're going to climb up until we get to this wall here, change to the Buster, and break through it. And there's a health upgrade. Then you just have to get to the end of the level and that'll auto exit you out. There's no boss here. Back into the town. And we're heading to the right again. Gonna go back into this ground gargoyle section. And we're gonna use the Buster on these blocks here. That's a little scroll inside that pot there. Break through here again. And we've got more Buster shots to break through this wall. And a health upgrade in that pot there. Now if you get stuck in this room, you can use the fire demon to light these lanterns and light it up a bit. Otherwise you can just try and remember the layout. Alright, that's the boss arena, but there's no boss. Alright, now we're done in there. We're going to fly back in. Yeah, more backtracking. And we're going to talk to this dude. Now we're going to fly past that other section we're in before. Now that little mound has a health power up. Be sure you don't miss that. It will look like this and drop that red power up. Then we've got a little boss here. It can be a bit tricky. Keep hitting it with fire, jumping over it. And a health upgrade from that. Now we're going to fly into this area, and this is the forest stage. Now this forest catches on fire here. There's a weird thing, if you die that fire roof will be gone, but we're just going to go through normally. And use our Buster to break through these blocks. Get a nice little power up in there. So this is the boss of the forest, and you can get rid of this fire reef by either dying or beating the boss. There we go, tornado. Let's just jump a bit higher. Back into the forest here, we're going to do some backtracking. So you've got this section here where we get the potion. We're basically going to use the tornado and jump off it. So fire one of those and then jump up to the potion. And then we'll go back into this boss arena area. And that fire roof is gone. So you want to get to the highest point, because there's this health power up here. Get to the highest point, which is there, jump and fly off, grab yourself that health power up, and then just go back to that boss area to finish out the level.